Imagine a country that once struggled with poverty, limited industrial strength, and slow economic growth, suddenly becoming one of the most powerful digital forces on Earth. A country where millions of people write code that runs global businesses, manage systems that power entire industries, and build technologies shaping the future. Now here's the twist. What if I told you this transformation didn't happen because of oil, gold, or natural resources, but because of something invisible? Code. Yes, lines of code changed everything. And today, India's IT sector is not just growing, it's dominating. But here's the question you can't ignore. How did India go from almost zero in global tech to becoming a trillion-dollar IT powerhouse? And even more importantly, why does the world now depend on India's technology more than it realizes? Stay with me, because the answer isn't just surprising. It's a blueprint for the future of global power. And here's something most people don't realize yet. This shift is still happening, right now, while most people are distracted. Let's rewind. There was a time when India wasn't even part of the global tech conversation. The economy depended heavily on agriculture. Jobs were limited. Opportunities were scarce. On the world stage, India wasn't seen as an innovator. It was seen as a developing nation trying to catch up. But beneath the surface, something powerful was building. India had one hidden advantage the world underestimated: a massive population of young, educated, English-speaking individuals. At first, no one noticed, and that's what made it dangerous. Because while the world ignored it, India was preparing. Then everything changed. In the 1980s and 1990s, the computer revolution began. Businesses in the United States and Europe needed skilled workers, but hiring locally was expensive. And this is where India entered the game. Companies discovered they could outsource work to India at a fraction of the cost, without sacrificing quality. It looked like a small decision. It wasn't. It was the beginning of a silent takeover. But here's the real question. Why India? Why not another country with cheap labor? Because the answer to that is what changed everything. As outsourcing grew, Indian companies didn't just participate, they evolved. Small firms turned into global giants. They moved from basic tasks to solving complex international problems: software development, data management, IT consulting. Everything started flowing through India. And then something even more valuable than money was built: trust. Global companies began trusting Indian engineers with critical systems. Projects got bigger, contracts got longer, and money started pouring in. But just when things were growing steadily, a global crisis appeared: the Y2K crisis. As the year 2000 approached, the world feared its computer systems would collapse. Banks, airlines, governments, everything was at risk. And here's where the story almost could have gone wrong. Because if India failed here, everything would collapse. But it didn't. India stepped forward. Thousands of engineers worked day and night to fix global systems. And in that moment, India proved something powerful. Not just that it was affordable, but that it was reliable. That it could deliver under pressure. That it could scale faster than anyone else. That single moment transformed India's image forever. From outsourcing destination to global problem solver. And once that trust was built, it triggered an unstoppable chain reaction. Now here's where the explosion begins. Cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Pune transformed into global tech hubs. Glass buildings replaced empty land. Tech parks replaced silence. And opportunity replaced uncertainty. Millions of jobs were created. India's IT sector didn't just grow, it multiplied. Exports surged. Foreign investments poured in. and the economy began to accelerate at a speed no one expected. But this wasn't just economic growth. This was an influence. Indian IT companies were now powering banks, airlines, hospitals, and governments across the world. Think about that. A country once trying to find its place, now helping run the global system. And this created a powerful loop. More projects, more jobs, more skills, better quality, more global demand. Again and again, the cycle repeated. Faster each time, stronger each time. But here's the twist. Most people don't see coming. India didn't stop at outsourcing. It started innovating. Startups emerged. Products were built. New technologies were developed. India wasn't just working for the world anymore, it was starting to shape it. And this is where the real power shift began. Now let's talk about today. India's IT sector is worth hundreds of billions and racing toward the trillion-dollar mark. It contributes massively to GDP. It employs millions. And it competes with the biggest tech giants on the planet. But here's the part that should really make you pause. The world depends on India. From Silicon Valley startups to Fortune 500 companies, Indian engineers are everywhere, building systems, managing data, securing networks, driving innovation. And if this system slows down, global operations slow down, that's not growth, that's control. Now here's the real question. If India is already this powerful, what happens next? Because what's coming next could be even bigger than everything we've seen so far. We are entering a new era. Artificial intelligence, automation, cybersecurity, cloud computing. This is the new battleground, and India is already in position. With talent, with scale, with experience. But here's the catch. The rules are changing fast. Other countries are trying to copy the model. Technology is evolving faster than ever, and the advantage now goes to those who move first. Which means only one thing. Only those who adapt will survive. And here's where it gets personal. While this shift is happening, most people are distracted. Most people are unaware. Most people are late. Don't be one of them. Because this isn't just India's story anymore. This is the future of global power, and it's being decided right now. And here is something even deeper. The real strength of India's IT sector isn't just technology, it's people. Every year, millions of skilled graduates enter the workforce. They bring fresh ideas, they adapt fast, they scale quickly, and this continuous talent pipeline keeps India ahead. On top of that, the global Indian tech community creates powerful connections across the world. Opportunities multiply, growth accelerates, and influence expands. This is not random. This is not luck. And this is a system built over decades. So now, let's close the loop. India didn't become a tech power overnight. It took vision. It took timing. It took millions of people moving in the same direction. And most importantly, it took recognizing an opportunity before the world fully understood it. Now the question is, are you recognizing the next opportunity, or are you going to miss it? Because the next trillion-dollar revolution is already starting quietly, just like this one did. And the winners will be those who see it early. If you want to stay ahead of these global shifts, understand powerful trends before everyone else, and learn how the world is really changing, make sure you follow and stay connected. Because what you just learned, most people still don't understand. And this is just the beginning. To truly understand the scale of this transformation, you also need to look at how deeply India's IT ecosystem has integrated itself into everyday global life. Every time you use a banking app, book a flight, stream content, or even interact with customer support online, there is a strong possibility that some part of that system is powered, maintained, or supported by Indian IT professionals. This level of integration did not happen overnight. It was built step by step, project by project, and relationship by relationship. Over time, India became not just a service provider, but a backbone of the global digital infrastructure. This is what separates temporary growth from long-term dominance. Another critical factor behind this rise is adaptability. While many countries struggled to keep up with rapid technological change, India continuously evolved. From basic coding services to advanced analytics, from support roles to leadership positions in global tech firms, Indian professionals consistently moved up the value chain. This upward movement is what transformed India from a low-cost destination into a high-value innovation hub. And now, with the rise of artificial intelligence and automation, this adaptability is being tested again. However, if history has shown anything, it is that India has the ability to learn, scale, and lead faster than most expect. At the same time, the role of entrepreneurship cannot be ignored. The rise of startups in India has added a new dimension to the IT sector. Instead of only serving global companies, India is now creating its own products, platforms, and solutions that are competing on a global stage. This shift from service to ownership is crucial because it means India is not just participating in the digital economy, it is actively shaping its future direction. And here is one final insight to think about. The story of India's IT sector is not just about technology, economics, or global competition. It is about mindset. It is about seeing opportunity where others see limitations. It is about building quietly while the world is not paying attention, and then emerging stronger than anyone expected. This is why this story matters, not just for understanding India, but for understanding how real transformation happens anywhere in the world. So as you move forward, remember this. The biggest opportunities are often invisible in the beginning. They do not look like revolutions. They look small, uncertain, and easy to ignore. But over time, they grow, they compound, and eventually, they change everything. The only difference between those who succeed and those who fall behind is simple. They either see it early or they do not. Subscribe now if you want to stay ahead of the next trillion-dollar trend.